Hey guys, this is the first live video from the 2010 Ford Focus at the Mariano's parking lot. And so cravings is a big thing that comes up a lot. Clients always talk about late night cravings and just wanting to eat something, chips, cookies, whatever it is, their kids' food. Usually if you got kids, it's, their snack food. And the reality is that the more you try to control these cravings, the more you try to use willpower and discipline and just saying no, the harder and harder and harder it's going to get until eventually you're going to cave in. And that's the reality. You are eventually going to give in because there's only so long you can try and focus on the TV knowing that there's some cookies over here on the counter, there's ice cream in the fridge, you're just trying to look at the TV and trying to avoid it, but you know that that stuff that you want is in there. And so you use so much mental energy, you use so much willpower and all this discipline, and you're just trying to say no. But the truth is eventually you're going to cave in and you're going to eat it. And the more that you try to hold out, the more you try to resist these cravings, that's what usually leads to binges, because you've got all this built up desire to eat this thing, and once you finally get it, you're gonna eat the whole fucking thing, whatever it is, right? Maybe not necessarily the whole thing, but you get my point. And so, what if you didn't have cravings? What if you didn't have the desires to eat food that you didn't really want to eat, but you felt compelled to eat? And that's where the really solution comes down to avoiding these cravings is, cravings are a result of some type of latent anxiety or frustration or discontentment or stress or overwhelm in your life. And the reason why people resort to food is because it makes them feel good. It's a way to detach. It's a way to disconnect from the feeling that they have. And so food is that kind of that crutch. It's the fix that you need, if you will, right? And so what if you actually focused on the frustration, if you focus on the stress, if you focus on all these things that really didn't make you feel good, and you get rid of that? And that's exactly what happens when you're really on point. I'm sure you've experienced this in your life in which everything was going right. You were focused, you were aligned, and you did everything that you wanted to do. And all those other things that would seemingly be distractions, such as eating junk food or self-sabotage, if you will, simply didn't exist, because that's where you were in the mode of just being aligned with your goals and the vision and everything that you wanted. And so the idea is not to control food. If you try to control food, it's going to end up controlling you. And that's why people go through these periods of constantly falling on the wagon, falling off the wagon, falling on the wagon, off the wagon, right? Because you haven't addressed the things in your life that are causing you to feel a certain way that you need to resort to food or alcohol or drugs, whatever it is, to escape that feeling. And so the real key to having this long-term weight loss and actually keeping it off and actually losing weight and feeling happier and feeling more confident is to address those feelings in your life in which you feel out of alignment, in which you feel there's some lack of congruency there. And for many people, it's managing the stress in their life, it's managing the relationships, it could be whatever type of thing is almost like that itch you can't quite seem to scratch, right? It's that feeling in which I just want to feel better, I just don't really feel good about whatever is happening. And so by managing those things in your life, and once you realize that you're not really stressed, you're not frustrated, you're not overwhelmed, all of a sudden these cravings go away. There is no more need to escape that daily fix in which you just need to have that ice cream in order to feel better. And if you actually start addressing these things, nutrition never becomes an issue. Food never really becomes an issue anymore because you are sorted out in a way that allows you to feel good. And once you make that connection, and once you realize that you can feel good without food, once you realize that taking care of yourself, following through in your intentions, staying true to yourself, exercising, following through in the habits, this creates a snowball effect in which you continue to do these things. This is something that has to be experienced. Me telling you this is not really connect the dots for you. You actually have to go through the process of reducing the stress in your life, reducing the things that are allowing you to feel the way that you do in order to resort to food or alcohol or these things. And so information really isn't that helpful, but implementation is extremely helpful. And once you create this experience for yourself, once you realize that if I can manage the stress of my life, I no longer need food to make me feel better, then all of a sudden the light bulb will go off and it's boom, shit. Okay, now I feel good. Now my desires are gone. Now my cravings are gone. And now my true desire to stay true to my intentions, to lose weight, to be a better person, and that's the only thing you're focused on. Because you can walk down the aisle one day of the candy store and you can be completely stressed out, overwhelmed and starving, and you're gonna buy tons of stuff. But the next day, if you're aligned with what you're doing, your stress is managed, you're feeling good about your day, you can walk past the aisle with no temptation, right? And so think about that on a daily basis in terms of how often you feel these cravings come on and how strongly associated it is with some type of stress in your life. And if you're willing to actually do the work in order to reduce the stress, reduce the threats, or reduce that feeling of frustration, anxiety, discontentment, whatever that may be, then you're gonna have a serious breakthrough, and you're gonna have weight loss be easier than ever. It really isn't challenging if you do it the right way. But most people have this missing component, and they just try to control food. They try to control food over and over and over again, counting calories, counting macros, but they still feel stuck in this prison of food, in which they just can't seem to get their way out. So the way to really have this liberation and it be weight loss be almost effortless and easy and actually more pleasurable, and you feel better about it, is to realize that food has never been the issue, right? It's been the stress, the frustration, the overwhelm, discontentment in your life that causes you to resort to food in order to numb, escape, or to feel better from. So if this resonates with you, hopefully it will. I'm going to keep saying this message over and over and over again, because hopefully eventually some of you guys will start to make the association. But as always, I appreciate your comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon.